And we are back with Lisa Waters Lane. She comes in the studio each week with your garden questions. Just what are your neighbors talking about? We can learn things from that. And so we get these questions from on the floor, emails, Facebook, Twitter. It's amazing how many ways people communicate with each other anymore, isn't it?
That is true.
Main thing is we're on the floor. We get to hear just what waves of people are asking. Right now it's, can I plant? Can I plant? Can I plant? And you go, yes, yes, yes.
Yes, you can plant.
I can't believe the number of trees that have sold. People are there's pent up demand for trees. And they're coming in not just for onesie twosies. They're coming in, I'll buy 20. Just they're like, I've never seen anything like this. I can't
Well, a lot of people have built their homes and now they're ready to put their landscape in, and they've thought about it. They've planned out. A lot of people are putting fruit trees in.
Yeah.
You know, and I think they've planned out how many they can get in and what they want. So yeah, it's busy.
It's good to be a garden center right now in Prescott, Arizona. So it's worked out really well.
Yeah.
So I got my second vaccine shot.
Yeah.
A little bit of sore arm.
Sore?
I feel
is it hurt?
No, it's fine. A little bit of tired, that's it. But then my arm is sore. I don't know why these things affect my arm. It's just sore. It's like a tetanus shot. If you remember that as a kid, you get one of those every 10 years or so. Kind of feels like that. But other than that, maybe a little bit tired. But no, I'm fine.
Well, maybe you're tired because you turned.
Oh, don't say. I just crossed the 50-year mark.
About 8 years ago.
Don't say how many times. Don't let them know. I want them to think I'm young and energetic and sparky on the radio signals.
So I won't give your age, but yes, you had a birthday.
Yeah.
So happy birthday.
Happy birthday to me. Whole staff, kind of, you made barbecue for the staff and macaroni and cheese. And
we had a birthday party here at the store.
My favorite cake, German chocolate.
And then the date before we went out to dinner.
Yeah, Triple Creek restaurant. Very good.
We'd give that a whirl and see how it was. Excellent service.
Well done.
Good food. It was good.
Yeah, best pork tenderloin
I
think I've ever had. That was really good.
Huge.
That was too big. Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, I ate a portion of it and you ate the rest.
It was good. I'd go back.
Yes.
That's Barry with Elgato Azul. He's got the contract at the Hilton, the new Hilton that's in downtown. Right there at, what is that, Sheldon Street and Montezuma, right there. So it's worked out very nice, fresh, new. Things were spaced. You felt safe. You know, it's good.
It was very good. So happy birthday, dear.
Thank you, my dear.
It's all over now. Forget it.
I feel special. My daughter took me for a razor ride side by side. Yeah. We went up Senator Highway and then back down past Palace Station. You folks who go around there, that's the oldest stagecoach building in the state. It's still standing. It's now a U.S. U.S. Forest Service uses it. And then we bumped out over towards Kirkland, came out at Wilhoit, that area. So kind of went towards Wagner Road, then popped out over. Yeah. We were in some where nobody had been before. It's kind of gets, you break down, you kind of go, I wonder if I can get out of here.
Do I have cell service?
Spectacular though, spectacular.
You were saying you ran across a Arizona cypress that was like the biggest you've ever seen.
Yeah, I think that's right off of, where is that? It's a mining road, not a road. These are trails. Yeah, there's really, a Jeep couldn't even go down, but there was an Arizona cypress forest. Of course, it's Arizona cypress. They grow here. They grow really well, but they were on this creek wash that they were magnificent. I've seen lots of Arizona cypress, but not 40 foot tall. They were magnificent. Usually they top out like a juniper, 20, 25 feet. These were twice that, not quite twice, but they were magnificent. Had to take a picture. Maybe I'll post them on Facebook, Instagram. That's the place for pictures. Well, we should do some.
Want to do some gardening?
Yeah,
gardening
we should do some gardening.
We can do that.
Or we can keep talking about me, my birthday. I don't mind that. Keep going. What do you most admire about your husband?
Careful, or else tell them your age. You're not careful. So our first question is from Teresa, and it's probably going to take a few minutes. So we'll do that one first. So last year, her roses suffered immensely from thrip damage. And so her first question is, how does she prevent that? And the second part of the question is, she has shrub roses and tea roses. Should they be pruned differently?
Yeah, good questions. So thrip damage. Just start with the first part, and then we'll go to pruning. That's why we have rose food with systemic on it. They make a food specifically for roses because this is such a common problem, thrip and aphids. So get your pruning done. We'll cover that in a second, and fertilize right afterwards. Sometime in the month of March, you should fertilize everything in the yard, but especially your roses. And I would say that first feeding should be the rose food with systemic, because that will cut back. It's got a bug control, kind of vaccinates the roses towards insects. And you can still have some thrip, but it won't make the leaves all curled up. It won't make the flowers get that black and looks like a bit lighter, burned them. It'll take care of that. Now, pruning, you should prune everything in the month of March. All your roses should be pruned in March. Okay, that's this week. Sometime in the next month, get all your roses pruned. Hybrid teas, floribundas, grandifloras, those are pruned a little bit differently than shrubs. Shrubs are mainly hedgerows. You're more hedging them like you would a photinia or euonymus, or shaping it more. And then they just are so vigorous that they grow out of that. Hybrid teas, floribundas, generally these are things with long stem roses, specialty roses. These are things you probably ought to be more focused on taking out the old canes, because to get a great big flower like that, it grows on a new vigorous green cane. If it's got bark all over it, focus on taking those out, at least one or two, so it will encourage vibrant new growth to come up. And so you get better, fatter, larger, more fragrant flowers. If flowers come on those old stalks, they'll be smaller. It just kind of, the vigor is cut back on those. So that's how I'd encourage you to prune those. And then we do an hour class on nothing but pruning roses. I don't have enough time here to go into details, and it's just audio. So it's hard to actually explain. There's pictures for that.
Okay. So look for the rose class.
Yes.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. We can do that. All right. Next question is from Jenna. She has raised beds, wants to know how far down that soil has to be turned for vegetable planting.
Sure. So what the book says is 8 inch. So that's about 1 shovel's depth, or a rototiller depth, or a disc, whatever you're turning your soil with. The English like double turning. So they like to turn and then turn it again a little bit deeper. That would be important for potatoes, tomatoes, your deep-rooted things. They would appreciate that. Long carrots, they would like that. But on general, 8 inches is good. That's also why a raised bed should be a minimum of 8 inches. I really like to go 12 to 18 inches. So you get the deeper roots. So it just, on the long run, it helps you with crop rotations and that kind of stuff. But minimum, going back to her point, 8 inches.
Okay. All right. Well, we're just cruising along.
That's good. That's
because
I'm just so young, because I had a birthday and I'm just, yeah.
All right. Well, David would like to know, he's had a pear in the ground for 3 years now. He wants to know if he can start heavily pruning it at this point. And what's the best way to go about that?
Yeah. This is a radio show, right? Radio, audio.
Get your diagram.
Yeah, I know. Yes, you can prune. You should prune now. And the way you start, and I would get the pruning done, but you prune fruit trees, all fruit trees between January and March. That's your window. Prune them back. And if this is your first time to prune them, you may lose some of your harvest this year. Typically, the first year after you do a heavy pruning, it affects how many pears you're going to have. But the next year after that, it just is unbelievable, the crop. So there's a cycle to it. Just be aware. It's not you. It's the way the plants are. There again, you're wanting to open up the center of fruit trees. We're trying to control disease. These are heavily sugared, heavily desired plants by not just us, but bugs, disease, leaf spot. So to have openness, let's airflow through, air through, the sunlight comes in. So I always start with broken branches, discolored branches. If that snow we had like a month ago had things bend down, just go for the things that are obviously damaged. Then I'll go for crossing branches, things that are growing to the inside. That's clogging up the inside. You want to open that up. So you want to have the scaffolding or this structure where it has more vase shaped, so you can hold the fruit, but still let the air go through it. And that's kind of the secret to all fruit trees, but especially apples and pears. Those are more, you prune more diligently. The middle out of those help you with the crop. But good question. If you have a question, take a snapshot with an iPad, bring it to us. We'll actually show you which ones to take out as best we can with a little picture, but that's it. All right, Ken and Lisa Lane, the Mountain Gardeners. Be right back.